Hello, so I'm back for the third part of this IHP video. We are trying to add some new routes to our admin application. So that's what we'll try to do here too in this video, and then we'll move to these other parts of the guide and see how other things are supposed to be done here. So anyways, I had to comment out part of the code we wrote because it wasn't working. The app wasn't compiling. So we're supposed to have a sub app under this admin path here. Let's see if we can find the section in documentation that tells us how to do this. Was it here? I think comments or have fun. I can't find the section anymore. Was it removed? Oh, here it is. So we did this new application admin, and we generated a new admin application. The logic for the new application is located in the admin directory. On the web, you can find it at /admin. Okay, we are here, but the /admin doesn't work. And I tried using this code agent thing, but it doesn't allow me to create anything for this admin app. So what we can try is creating a new controller. Was it a view? No, controller for posts, and check if we put all the code we need in a correct places. So in web controller posts, we need this. And this admin controller posts. I had to comment this because otherwise the compilation would fail. So let's check here. Append to web routes. So let's go into admin routes. How to route post controller. Oh, we are in the web folder. We have to go into the admin folder. Okay. And this one looks correct. Then into web types. So admin types. We have this new post controller. We are only using the posts action, which shows the list of posts, and the show post action, which shows the single post. So looks good so far. In front controller, we have to import admin controller posts, and we have it. Then into web view, okay, create these two views. Into web view post. Okay, we're missing the views. So this could be one of the issues we were having. Okay. View, view, view. Okay. Let's try creating a view. So we need the posts action and the show post action. Okay. So I guess what we can do is open these views here. So we have the index view. It's not very responsive. I don't know why. And we can just copy and paste the stuff here. Let's just replace web with admin. Admin. We don't have edit and delete in our admin section. Okay, let's go to admin, view, posts, index. Yes, create a folder. Okay, and then we need the show view. Oops, which we can copy and paste here. Let's replace this with this. And I suppose should be good enough. And this becomes show. Okay, then we can go back to our front controller. We can comment this one, and then we can go to our admin controller posts, and let's try and commenting this here. Not sure why nothing is happening here. I feel like sometimes the file watcher just hangs. I want to check this web view layout file. Which is pretty big. Do we have the admin web, admin view layout file? Yeah, which is more or less the same. Yeah. Okay, our compilation failed. Let's see if it's easier to see it here. Admin controller posts. Yeah, it is the same error I was getting the other time. Could not deduce as field layout, web types, view context, HP view support layout, arising from a use of render. So let's go to admin controller posts. We have the wrong views imported here. Nice. This one looks much better. So admin show posts. Admin views posts show. Okay, and now it's using this new comment action, which is not in scope. Let's check the web posts show file. No, I think this was brought in scope from the controller, probably. Posts, I think. Oh, my memory is really bad. New comment action. Oh, okay, of course, because this action is defined in this controller, which is only for our web view. Okay, let's just comment this out. And of course, we don't have the new post action, which is in this admin posts index. Admins can create new posts, so we can have this link here. Let's leave the title in there. Okay. So we're not getting that error anymore. It says okay here, we can say anything here. Works. Good. So yeah. Yeah, it works. I'm not sure why we had to duplicate all this stuff. We could probably recycle controllers and views to use in different apps. Pretty sure. I hope so. Yeah, let's go. Let's go on. Let's check this custom routing. Or maybe this route thing is more interesting. How to route. Let's say our post controller is defining web types like this. Okay. So let's go into web types. Using instance auto route post controller will give us the following route: get posts, get new post, get show post. So how does this happen? Where does the method come from? The URLs are very close to the actual action, which is called. Action parameters are taken automatically from the request query. This design helps you to always know which action is actually called when requesting a URL. Okay, they don't explain how and why. I mean, why is this post action a get? Of course, it has to be a get, but what's the criteria? What are the criteria that makes this become a get? I have an idea. Maybe from the controller. Controller posts. No. I don't know. I'm not very fond of all this magical stuff. Of course, it'll be explained better probably in the future, but yeah. So multiple parameters. An actual constructor can have multiple parameters. Okay. And this will generate a routing like get, edit post. So can we have parameters as URL fragments instead of just query parameters? Probably here. Parameter types. Autoroute by default only works with UUID arguments and ID types like ID post. If you have a controller like data, a lower controller action name text, where you have a text parameter, you have to configure autoroute like this. This way the name argument is passed as text instead of UUID. Right now autoroute supports only a single type for given parameters. Okay. This is not great. Okay. This is a technical problem we hope to fix in the future. Yeah, I hope so. This will make things pretty awkward. You can have different parameters in URLs, which it's not that uncommon. When an action is named in a certain way, autoroute will pick a certain request method for the route. Delete post action will only allow requests with the request method delete. Okay, so delete becomes a delete. This makes sense. Update is post or patch. Create, okay, this post. Show, we don't have any show. So everything else is get, post, or head. Okay. If you need more strong rules, consider using the other routing API available or overriding the allowed methods for action. Okay. Okay, it's good. Application prefix. When using multiple application IHP having admin backend of the root will prefix the action URL with the application name. Okay. Web is a special module, so it doesn't have a prefix. Okay. I guess we're not allowed to customize them, probably. Custom parse argument. Is it possible to use a custom data type as a routing parameter without root? Now might be a good point to switch to a custom routing implementation, described later in this guide, instead of hacking this into auto routing. If this warning can't stop you, go ahead. Okay. I'm gonna listen to the warning. Just skip to the custom routing. Sometimes you have special needs for your routing. For this case, IHP provides a lower level routing API on which autoroute is built on. Let's say we have a controller like this, post controller show all my post action. We want request to post map to show my post action. For that, we need to add a can root instance. Instance can root post controller where parse root string posts end of input. Okay. So we have to write an actual parser ourselves to parse the roots. The parse root function is a parser which reads an URL and returns an action of type as controller. Router uses to parse. See below for examples how to use this for building beautiful URLs. Okay. Let's say we want to give our blog post application a beautiful URL structure for SEO reasons. Our controller is defined as post controller show post action. Okay. And we want to use the title. Yeah, makes sense. We also want to accept permalinks with the ID like this. To accept your URLs like this, we first need to make some changes to our data structure. We have to make the post ID optional. Additionally, we need to have a parameter for the URLs log. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so this one has to become a maybe, meaning that it is optional. Of course, you all know about this better than me. And then you can also accept slug, which is also optional. Why not a neither ID post or slug? This will also require us to make changes to our action implementation. show post action, which takes a post ID or as log. Okay, let's resize this a little. So it becomes post case log of just slug query post filter where slug. What's the syntax? Oh god. Fetch one. Nothing. Fetch one. Post ID. Yeah, of course. We're not getting comments like this, but let's see how it goes. Then we'll try hacking on it. So this is expect the post table to have the fields log text. Now we define our can-root instance like this. Here. I guess so. Instance can root post controller where parse root do string. Yeah, won't this mess with all our roots? Is there a way to do this only for one? So let post by ID do ID parse ID and have input. Oh, I hate this syntax. Pure show post action post ID slug nothing. Let post by slug do slug. Okay, this is alternative. There, get input pure show post action. Of course, post ID is nothing, and slug is slug. And then it says post by ID or post by slug. And we also have to implement the as path instance. Path to show post action, post ID, just ID slug nothing. It's post to show ID, and this one just slug. Okay. Constructor show post action, edit post action get different types for field post ID. Do they? Oh, okay. And why does it care about this? Oh, because the edit, it's the same with an edit at the with an edit at the end of the URL, so we can have different stuff here. I probably have to change all of them. Let's see what happens. Yeah, what if we want to be able to only delete posts by using the ID and not the slug? We can't enforce this from our roots. Oops, we have to do this probably using some kind of controller logic. I don't know. Okay. So in our controller comments, line 50. Let's do this. This is very annoying. Now we have to pass both of them every time. Why? I don't really like this, how this is handled right now. Okay, now in view, post index. And where is it? Line 7. Okay, because now our post ID is a maybe. It's a maybe. And of course, do we now we have to handle every time if it the case if it's a ID or if it's a slug? Let's see this real world example. So here is a real world example of a custom routing implementation for a custom Apple Web Service interface implemented digital in use. Scan root, parse root, Apple device ID, string, parse text registration, pass type, parse text. Yeah, not a lot of documentation here, but I create the string, member ID, the input, create registration action, choice, create or show. Huh, okay. So what it's doing here, it parses the common roots part, because there are two roots here actually. There's a show and a create. And then parses the end parts, so with the create part of the URL or the show part, and then using choice it says, okay, this one was either a create or a show. Yeah, but I'm curious to know, well, so let's do this for now. So we can do this. Let's put it down here. Web controller posts. Yeah, I don't know. This really makes me want not to use beautiful URLs if I have to do this every single time. Now I have to handle here the case it's either a posted URLs log. Of course, I could abstract this function somewhere else and reuse them. I find it a little annoying. I don't know if there was a better way to do this though. Controllers and actions. Just go very quickly through these other sections. So an action is a place for request handling logic. A controller is just a group of related actions. Yeah, I already read this. Okay. Then we have the views. Are usually represented as HTML, but can also be represented as JSON or other formats. Okay. Okay, this is good. Yeah, let's see how they handle forms, because it's something that's always a little tricky. Another thing is that with the fact that they really are against JavaScript, too much JavaScript, I don't really feel like in 2020 you can write forms without JavaScript. There's not the kind of interaction that users expect. So, in IHP, forms are an essential way to interact with your application. Dealing with a lot of form markup can quickly become complex because of the need to deal with consistent styling, and especially when dealing with lots of validation. Okay, IHP provides helpers to generate form markup to help deal with the complexity. By default, forms in IHP follows the class name is about Bootstrap 4, therefore the forms work with Bootstrap 4 out of the box. Of course, the default form generation can be customized to support other CSS frameworks. Unless JavaScript helpers have been deactivated, your form will be submitted using Ajax. Okay, and turbo links instead of real browser based form submission. We should already have forms somewhere. Can we revert this slug thing, because I don't really like it. Yeah, there's no git repo here. Add post action. Controller comments. No slug. No just. Okay. So I suppose we already have a form somewhere. Maybe here. In the edit view. Yeah, okay. Form for posts. So forms usually begin with a form for expression. This is how a simple form can look like. Calling this form from inside your HSX code will lead to the following HTML being generated. Okay, you can see that the form is submitted via post. The form action is also set by default to create post. All the inputs have auto-generated class names and IDs for styling. Let's go check our form. Posts. Where are my posts? Web view index. Okay. Let's edit this post. So this is a form. Okay. Form control. IHP has the most commonly used form controls built in. In general, the form control helper just need to be passed the field name. Here's a list of all built-in form control helpers. Text field, title, okay. Text area, color field. Oh, what's a color field? So I'm really curious to check these fields, but do we have a way to use them without without having relative fields in our data type? I don't think so. Or is it? Okay. So what if I do color field title? Oh, cool. Email field, date field, password field, date time field. Well, I guess just using the default browser field, so it doesn't. Let's see, date time field. Oh, we can use the created that. Let's check our field's name. Created that. Could not deduce input value 0 arising from use of date time field. From the context, we can't spam it in render form. The type variable valued 0 is ambiguous. How is it ambiguous? Okay. Not. Oh, it could be that Pale Moon doesn't handle daytime fields. I don't know. Because it says daytime here. Okay, validation. Yeah. Okay. Farms are also HSX. You can also use HSX here. Okay, this is nice. So we can wrap these helpers with HTML. Then we can customize them by overriding some fields, so help text, placeholder, the label. We can also pass custom CSS class for labels and field. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Make it required. Submit buttons. Form rendering is built on top of Blaze, so you need to import the Blaze HTML function for this. At this top of your module. I never used Blaze, but okay. So it just sets up the on-click handler here, for example. Well, okay, there's a lot of stuff here. It's pretty straightforward. HP by default sets its session cookies using the same site option. While lax sounds not very secure, this protects against all common CSRF vectors. Okay, JavaScript helpers. By default, your form will be submitted using Ajax and turbo links. What's turbo links? Makes the web application faster. Get the performance benefits of a single page application without the added complexity of a client-side JavaScript framework. Use HTML to render your views on the server side and link to pages as usual. When you follow a link, TurboLink automatically fetches the page, wraps it in body, and merges its saddle without incurring the cost of a full page load. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's very cool. I want to try this on some of my projects. Okay. Where are we? Session. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that they have some kind of integrated session handling. It looks like it. Cookies. Okay, it's not ready yet. Scripts. Oh, okay. I was thinking about JavaScript scripts, but it's actually something different. It's a way to run simple script inside the framework context, but outside of the usual web request response lifecycle. So cron jobs, background job queues. So they're inside of application scripts. There's a prelude in here. So the run function is our endpoint. Okay, let's try doing this. Oh, there's actually a command to do this. So let's do a new script. Hello world to all users. Here's the file. Okay, the run function is our entry point. There we can write our logic. Just like inside an action, this means we can call other framework functions, access the database using the usual ways, and emails, run reviews, etc. Let's print out an hello world to a user in the console. Okay. So it fetches the users, query user fetch. For each user do yeah, darn keyboard. Okay. Scripts are executable by default. You can just run them in a bash script. Okay. Applications script. Hello world to users. Huh. We have an error. Could not find module application script. Hello world to users. Okay. It's not working, so we're just gonna trust them on this. Doesn't look like a permission error at all. Oh no. Debugging. Use examples using trace show ID. Okay, well, there is no front-end section yet. Oh, there is a database section. I'm actually more interested into that hash syntax here. Let's see if it's explained anywhere. Let's. It's not explained anywhere. I would be really grateful if anyone watching this could like write a comment or anything and just explain why how it works, because I have literally no clue. Just checking the chat. There is no one here. Okay. Relationships, query builder. So you can probably check the documentation for this filter where, and maybe will give us a clue. So filter where. It's a proxy. Oh no, there are a lot of hashes in this page, and I'm gonna find it. Is it some kind of syntax for proxies? No, I don't think this is the case. Proxy. Magic hash. No, but this is a suffix, so it's not the case. It's something different. I have no idea at all. Okay. Log in and log out, authentication. Well, I guess this is it for now. I think this is a very, very, very interesting project, something that's really missing in the Haskell landscape. Not sure if I'd ever use it, not because it's bad at all. Just I'd rather use something a little less frameworky. I really have to congratulate the guys who built this because it's a very ambitious project. I would for sure be very good for the language ecosystem. Hopefully it will bring more people in, get more people writing Haskell and writing cool libraries and everything. So thank you for listening, and yeah, just write me in the comment what that hash syntax thing is for, because I have literally no clue. See ya.